Yo, this is Ralph McDaniels, Uncle Ralph. You're checking out the Hip Hop Chronicles UK.
What's been the favorite video you've been a part of? The one that you've enjoyed most in your career? Well, you can give me a couple if
I'll give you a Wu Tang. Yeah. Probably my favorite video, which I enjoyed the most, and just because it's just so much to work with, is the Wu Tang Clan, C.R.E.A.M. You know, doing that video, first of all, it was like minus 20 degrees when we shot that video.
That's why they're wearing all the massive...
Exactly,
wow.
It was freezing, man. And we shot in Staten Island. I'll never forget that day because every time we would go from outside to inside, the camera would frost up, you know, because going from the, you know, cold to hot. And it was just like amazing to work with those guys. First of all, because they were just, whatever you saw in that video is pretty much how they were living at that time, you know. So it wasn't hard. All of the people, the extras that were out in front of the projects and, you know, and doing whatever they were doing, those guys were not too far away. We just said, yo, come outside. You know, they were probably inside because it was cold. They were like, all right, no problem, Wu Tang. And so working with those guys was always amazing. Waiting for Old Dirty to get there was always amazing. RZA is a genius. Rakim is a very good friend of mine. And so, yeah, I enjoyed that video. And I'm an early '90s person. Is my favorite era.
Right.
You know, probably like Public Enemy, and then we skip over into like, you know, Wu Tang, Nas, X-Clan. I did a lot of their videos as well. I did a lot of those videos. Rest in peace, Professor X, Sugar Shaft from that crew.
You touched on it before earlier, and I know that, for instance, the footage of Biggie and Nas rhyming. That's your footage, right, on stage,
exactly.
when Nas was doing that Jamaican. Now, what? Like, if you can disclose, that's cool. What do you have in your possession that we don't know about? That is really legendary. I'm sure there's millions and millions, but if you can pick out a few that we haven't seen that you maybe think about dropping, in the same vein as that.
I got Jay-Z, Busta Rhymes, Biz Markie, Big Daddy Kane. Somebody else is on that. Freestyle at this club.
All together?
All the same, yeah. All at the same time. It was Big Daddy Kane's birthday.
Wow.
And nobody's really seen that, except maybe Biz. Biz probably saw it, because Biz is like a collector.
Do you know what year it was? What year we were talking?
That was like 90. Because it was like at the end of the Kane being really popular.
Yeah.
And the beginning of, you know, Jay-Z was like hanging around with Kane then.
Yeah.
And Biz was still hot in the streets because he was still doing his thing out there. So it had to be like around 89, 90. And it's just, you know, it's classic. I mean, to be honest with you, Biz Marquie's freestyle tore the house down.
Really?
Yes. And people sleep on Biz for freestyles, but he's still...
He killed it on that one?
Killed it. Yeah, he killed it.
Yo, I thought Busta or Jay or even Kane.
Busta was good. You know, Busta's a great impact guy. But
Biz did it?
Biz, don't sleep on Biz. That's all I can say.
What other ones? Have you got any other ones you can think of?
Wow. Let me see. I mean, a lot of stuff with Jay. You know, I followed Jay from the beginning, you know, when he was with Jazzo. So Jay, you know, like there's a documentary out on Jay-Z from the Reasonable Doubt album. Yeah. And a lot of that footage in there.
The VH1 thing? Yeah, exactly. That was great. That was
there's
great.
a lot of great footage in there, but there's some they didn't use, like Marcy Day, which is like the projects, you know, like their little picnic day. Yeah. When he brings out, you know, Memphis Bleak, who's like, looks like he's like 10 years old. And Foxy Brown came out on that one right there. So yeah, in fact, Irv Gotti from Murder Inc. was the DJ.
Yeah, because he was Jay's DJ back in the day.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you know, just cool stuff. I mean, then you go back to the 80s, you know, I mean, plenty of stuff with Kane, because I was with Kane all the time. Kid and Play, you know, Backyard Party, you know, stuff like that. Yeah.
It's the first time you met Russell Simmons.
First time I met Russell Simmons?
Yeah.
Well, me and Russell Simmons grew up together in the same neighborhood.
Whoa!
Yeah. I moved from Brooklyn to Queens, and he lived in Queens at the time. And the first time I met him, I was playing basketball in the park, and he was like, he wasn't really a gang member, but he used to hang over there by the gang guys. Right. And I never used to hang around with Russell Simmons because my mother would say, like, what are you doing with that boy? So that's my first impression of Russell Simmons, for real.
Whoa, that's crazy. That's crazy. How? Now you mentioned you worked with Kane a lot. What about the first time you met Kane?
Kane, my first impression of Kane was, I thought Kane was going to be like really hardcore, like you know, MOP, you know, just like, you know, just hard. Kane is like an R&B singer. Kane is like the Delphonics. Kane is like Ray Goodman and Brown. That's what Kane, in fact, Kane wants to be Ray Goodman and Brown. That's what I believe, because people would, I show people classic footage of Big Daddy Kane, and they go, no, we want him with the fatigues on. I said, he didn't want to wear that. You see Kane, he wanted to wear suits and cool stuff, and you know, that's who Kane is. I'm telling you, Kane is an R&B singer under all of that hardcore stuff, man.
I'll give you one more. The first time you met, actually, the two guys, Eric B and Rakim.
Eric B didn't say anything. No, nothing. Quiet. Just like how he is in the videos. Eric B don't have nothing to say. Rakim, a little bit different, like sports. So that's how we got it. We got into a sports conversation with Rakim, and still to this day, you know, sportsman. So that's how that was our connection, you know, the Eric B and Rakim connection. But Eric B was always, you could tell he was thinking business all the time. He was
right. Yeah. And how about Jay? Because you said you followed Jay right from the start, Jay-Z.
I mean, Jay-Z, first time I met him was with Jazzo. And he was just like a skinny kid, I mean like real skinny, with like, you know, just some kid like, you know, like, who is this kid and why does he think he's so cool? You know, he was that kind of guy, you know, but I knew kids like him. Right. And so to watch him come up and become the businessman that he is, it's miracles happen. And that's one right there, because that dude, you know, it could have went either way for him. I'm sure if you ask him, it could have went either way. He didn't have to go in that, especially from, you know, the neighborhood that he's from, the influences that are around him. He didn't have to be the successful guy that he is. He could have easily went in the wrong direction. Yeah. So to watch him, you know, come up and be who he is right now, I hope he gets together again with Dame Dash though.
Yeah, I think we all do. Like, I think if they did that, it'd be great. Not only just for the cultures, for both of them as well.
Yeah, because they were inspiration together. You know? Yeah. I mean, they did what they did, but they're not done yet. I don't think.
I don't think so either. I think there's one last twist in that tail. Definitely.